It started with a single ping, an innocuous notification that would unravel the carefully constructed image of the future king. A message, private and encrypted, found its way into the wrong hands. Within hours, whispers turned to headlines, and the palace walls began. Prince William, heir to the British throne, found himself at the heart of a storm that could eclipse every scandal. The question wasn't just about the content of the messages, but the chilling truth they suggested: a secret bond with Rose Hanbury, the Marchioness of Cholmondeley, once rumored to be more than just a family friend. For years, the rumors had been suppressed, buried under layers of denials and royalty. Rose Hanbury, elegant and enigmatic, had moved quietly within aristocratic circles, her connection to the Cambridges often dismissed as the stuff of. But now, someone had unearthed what they claimed were undeniable messages between her and the future king, messages that spoke of late-night meetings, whispered reassurances, and a closeness that defied the boundaries. The leak began on a faceless forum, the kind frequented by those who feast on palace. Screenshots emerged, grainy, partially redacted, but damning enough to ignore. One message read, "Last night was unforgettable. I can't stop thinking about." Another, "She suspects something. We must be careful." The world needed no guide to decipher who she might be. Kate Middleton, Princess of Wales, mother of his 3 children and the poised public face of the monarchy. The implication was devastating. If authentic, these messages suggested not just infidelity, but deception at the highest level of the royal household. Within hours, major outlets picked up the story. The palace, caught off guard, issued a rare midnight statement: "These alleged communications are fabricated." The Prince of Wales maintains his commitment to his family and his duties. But the tone was brittle, too brittle, said royal watchers, for a house that prided itself on the mantra "never complain." Inside the palace, chaos reigned. Kate reportedly demanded to see every scrap of the alleged correspondence. Advisors urged calm, but she, according to sources, was white with fury. The memories of the initial Rose Hanbury affair rumors, which she had fought to bury years before, came flooding back like a reopened. To her, this wasn't just about William's reputation, it was about hers. The loyal wife, the steadfast Duchess, now cast once again as the betrayed. Rose Hanbury, thrust unwillingly back into the spotlight, broke her silence with a brief statement: "I deny any impropriety and am deeply distressed by these false allegations." But her words did little to stem the tide. Paparazzi camped outside her estate. Old photos resurfaced: Rose laughing beside William at a gala, Rose seated close to him at a charity dinner, Rose leaving a royal event. Each image was dissected, each angle analyzed for a telltale glance or lingering touch. The question haunting Britain was not simply whether William had strayed, but who had orchestrated. Some pointed to Meghan Markle, citing her history of palace conflicts and a supposed motive to destabilize the monarchy that had once cast. Others whispered about rogue staffers, journalists owed favors, or even foreign actors eager to embarrass. One particularly explosive theory suggested the leak came from within, someone close to William, disillusioned by his rise, willing to burn the bridges of loyalty for the. "It's not about the affair," a shadowy source told an investigative podcast. "It's about power." And right now, the heir's power is slipping. As the messages circulated, forensic analysts began tearing. Metadata was traced, timestamps examined. Some experts claimed the phrasing was consistent with William's known power. Others argued they were clumsy fakes, stitched together to resemble intimacy where there was none. But in the court of public opinion, truth mattered less than the image of him. The effect on the monarchy was immediate and corrosive. Public trust, already fragile, plunged. Polls suggested a sharp drop in confidence toward William and Kate as the symbols of stability. Late-night comedians feasted on the scandal, memes flooded social media, and hashtags like #WilliamMessages and #RoseLeak trend. Behind closed doors, Kate was said to be considering a radical move, a public appearance with Rose Hanbury to project unity and discredit. But allies warned her it could backfire spectacularly, feeding the narrative instead of quell. In private, she reportedly confronted William with icy precision: "If there's even a fragment of truth, you have put all of us in danger." William, cornered, maintained his innocence. To friends, he described the ordeal as a digital assassination, an attempt to smear his reputation at a time when he was taking on increasing royal duties as King Charles's health wavered. But there was one detail he could not explain: how the messages, real or not, mirrored private moments so closely guarded, they should have been untouchable. The palace turned to its most trusted crisis managers. Phones were wiped, servers locked down, non-disclosure agreements reinforced. Legal letters flew across the Atlantic, targeting both the websites that published the messages and the shadowy figures behind them. In Montecito, Meghan and Harry's camp issued a sharp denial of any involvement, calling the speculation absurd and malicious. Yet their silence in the days leading up to the scandal, and their sudden resurgence in headlines after months of quiet, only deepened. As weeks passed, the fire did not die, it mutated. More messages appeared, some more explicit, some cryptic, all painting a portrait of clandestine longing between a future king and a woman he was never supposed to be close to. Whether true or forged, they were enough to plant a seed of doubt in the public imagination, a seed that, in the fertile ground of royal gossip, grows like ivy on stone. For Kate, the damage was intimate and enduring. Friends described the woman hardening in real time, her trust eroded, her smile tighter, her words sharper. To the world, she continued her engagements, dressed in immaculate coats and pearl. But to those inside, there was a new chill in the air at Kensington Palace, a cold war behind the gilt. For William, the stakes were existential. An affair scandal could be weathered, royals have survived, but a scandal entwined with digital leaks, manipulation, and a narrative of dishonesty threatened something deeper. His image as the steady, modernizing. As one historian put it, Edward VIII abdicated for love. Charles endured scandal for love. But William is risking it all for whispers. And for Rose Hanbury, the shadow lingered. No matter her denials, she became a symbol, of temptation, of conspiracy, of the line between friendship and something else. Every gala, every public appearance, now carried a subtext she could never fully. In the end, the truth of the messages remained elusive. Perhaps they were real, a glimpse into a secret chapter of royal life. Perhaps they were fabrications, a weapon forged to wound. But the damage was done. Trust had cracked, alliances had shifted, and the fairy tale image of the Waleses had been stained by the monarchy, as ever, survived, but a little more brittle, a little more human, and far more haunted by the ghosts of its own secret.